All right, welcome back to Sharp Edge News TV. I appreciate you for being here. Do us a favor, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you are notified whenever we go live. We have a fantastic show laid out for you this week, as usual. Like I said, please share, 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 share. All right, today, without any further ado, I'm gonna just go ahead and introduce the Chief, High Chief Oladimeji Abitogun, the Editor-in-Chief, founder, creator, SharpEdgeNews.com. Welcome, sir.
Nice to be back. And
Yes.
good compliments of the season. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever, everywhere, to our viewers all over the world. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Awesome. Great, great, great. So, like I said, we have a fantastic show today. We do have a special, something that will take the place of our special report today. The first place I want to go to is to read a short excerpt, and then that's going to link with our special report today with regards to the tribute to the late Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. And let me see here. Let me just go ahead and share my screen really quickly. Pardon us today. We are getting up to speed. We had some movings and things like that. You know, good things. Nothing crazy, but good things. But today we're talking about Miss Betty Akeredolu. So you can see the title here says Betty Akeredolu's emotional tribute. They are hungry. You love your Igbo wife. Now, what are they talking about? So before I hand it over to Chief, there's a report here that says they're angry. You love your Igbo wife. That's a quote from her tribute to her husband, Betty Akeredolu, wife of the late Rotimi Akeredolu, former governor of Ondo, has penned a tribute to her husband. They marvel that a Nigerian man can love his wife. To them, not only Oyibo man they love. Betty wrote in the funeral service bulletin. The funeral was at St. Andrew's Cathedral, or the hometown of the late governor. Love at first sight brought us together, she says. Let me see if there's another quote here. Tribute to my love, Aketi, darling, it's me, your adorable Betty. You just left me just like that. It hurts. Badly, it hurts. Now, alone to face all manners of mockery from the so-called friends and adversaries alike. Not a few lashed out that you were a weakling because you loved me. Abego, can an Amotekun General Simo be a weakling? Mbano, it doesn't add up now. Abba, by the way, do they know what love is? I don't think so. In their homes, while growing up, they saw their mothers trampled upon as doormats, beaten up like punch bags. They copied the template and treated their wives as pieces of furniture that can be easily discarded as trash. And in many instances, the subjugation was garnished with beatings, while the community looked the other way and remained unperturbed as gender-based violence reigned supreme nationwide. In civilized climes, if you beat your wife, jail awaits you even if you're a governor. They marvel that a Nigerian man can love his wife. To them, not only Oyibo man they love. They're infuriated that a Yoruba man can love his wife who is Igbo. How can Igbo lason? To them, not only Oyibo man they love. Now, love at first sight brought us together. Biko, no be juju. Now, love make me cross the Niger. That love at first sight turned out to be so true and pure, and you were proud to say it. You were proud to show it. You were even prouder to tell the people of Ondo State and beyond that we were a team. You were audacious to tell the people that you voted for one but got two. A testimony of my positive contribution to your life and career, emotionally and intellectually. I'm going to stop there so you can speak to this. What's your take on this tribute?
Again, condolences to the family of late Governor arákùnrin Olúwarótìmí Ọdúnayọ̀ Akeredolu, particularly his wife, whom, when she visited us at the palace in Akeredolu a few years back, to our face, I referred to her as our own their executive Lolo. And then to the children and other members of the extended Akeredolu family of Owo and everywhere in the world. I do not know why our former executive, she will still remain an executive Lolo, but our former first lady, I wouldn't know why she would choose the solemn and, how do I describe it? Such a sober moment to, turn it to a way of throwing jibes at whoever decided to question certain shenanigans. Certainly certain shenanigans that were perpetrated by the former first family in Ondo State. I would not think that anybody was questioning, because contrary to the sentiments that are often expressed amongst people who may be shocked concerning cross-cultural marriages in Nigeria, in Africa, and all over the world, I do not know of anybody that was trying to question the personal decisions of the Akeredolus to come together to pursue a love affair such that, would be described as being legendary. Something you could describe as love in Ibadan, Akure, or instead of being called love in Tokyo. So I don't think anybody ever questioned that. But what people frowned at was the overbearing and overreaching conduct of members of the Akeredolu family. The governor, the late governor, was the one that was elected into executive office as governor, not the wife, not the children. And so if people question that, and now Mrs. Betty Akeredolu, instead of mourning her husband in a dignified way, decided to use the unfortunate funeral ceremony and state funeral for the husband to start throwing jibes at people. That would be most unfortunate. I can relate to a situation. I don't think people are that backward in their thinking amongst us in Ondo State, or generally amongst us Africans, as to want to question what two adults decide to do with themselves in terms of love affair, in terms of worthy marital contract. It's not nobody's business. But what becomes people's business is when people come as if they had made certain plans ahead of time to descend on what should have been common patrimony of the people, and then help themselves, help their light fingers and voracious, primitive, acquisitive tendencies with things that should belong to the generality of the people. That is what people commented about. And certain decisions will be questioned. But let us make this a worthy tribute to Akeredolu. I personally knew him. I personally met him. And I personally enjoyed some patronage in terms of asking for things to be done for the people of my community, which he did. Of course, I am one of those that would say I subscribe to that mantra about him, Mr. Talk and Do. But beyond that talk and do stuff, how did he foist on those states this questionable culture of nepotism? Because everybody focuses on financial misconduct, financial corruption, and all that, as if that is the A to Z of corruption. No, but the worst form of it also is the nepotic conduct. Things that should belong to the Commonwealth, to the generality of the people, coveted by one family in the name of enjoying executive powers as governor. For example, I do not know if the governor's son had Babajide. I would not know if he ever had any public work experience other than since he did while studying in Canada and just fresh out of the university decided to support his father for the campaigns. And then other people like Babajide assisted the governor, campaigned for him to become the governor of Ondo State. At the end of the day, how did he manage to bamboozle everybody to rig the process? The entire process was rigged, and the boy was given a very powerful position that made him, to reign over and above everybody, including the secretary to the government of the state, including the head of service, including the speaker of the State House of Assembly. He was given an amorphous title, something very nebulous, called Director General in terms of project monitoring and so on and so forth. So when did Nigeria get to that level? These things used to be done not with the kind of gusto that we saw under Akeredolu, under Buhari, under so many people in the APC family. In fact, not just them, even since the return of the country to civil democracy, this has been a kind of worrisome situation.
So seemingly in your face type of that's basically what was practiced. Yeah.
So what are you going to do to us? They operate with this attitude of state capture. We have everything. All of you, and if you criticize them, there is a way they come after you. So that is what Mrs. Betty Akeredolu is misconstruing for anybody say, who cares? Whether the man loves you or not. I can relate to that.
This is evident by even her conduct right now. This is the same behavior all over again, unfortunately.
She is full of it, and she is unrepentant. She's not capable of being penitent. Nobody is going to perpetuate any harmful traditional practice against her. Yorubas are more than that. All those things she's reeling out, that is not in the character of Yoruba people. Yoruba people will never say that you are not entitled to inherit your parents' property. You get that? I am a Yoruba high chief. If anybody comes to the palace seeking protection, that she has been dispossessed as a wife, as a woman of whatever belongs to her, you can rely on my sense of justice to make sure that such a woman gets justice. She does not even need to cry too much about it. So I don't know the kind of sentiment that informed this kind of what do I call it? I would not say that Yoruba people have been slandered with this kind. I don't know, and I think she's also.
That's essentially what she's insinuating that.
Well, she can insinuate as much as she wants, because I've seen that with some people, things that were never said. You know the way the brain works, the way the brain works, the power of imagination, and when the thinking and the conclusions are twisted from the brain. You can't help people. That is what they want. That is what they want to believe. Yes, that is what they want to believe. Some people love Akeredolu, but like I've said elsewhere, Akeredolu was never a saint. And to continue to think that, all those things he perpetrated against taxpayers in Ondo State, against voters who killed in the sun, to vote him into office will be forgotten. For example, somebody has challenged that, Oladimeji Abitogun, you reached out to the governor for Kamomi Aketi and campaign against open defecation, and they listened to you. I said yes, but there is a story behind that cooperation. It was nobody should think that I enjoyed that kind of cozy relationship with him. That was no. It was Honorable Yetunde Adeyanju, the then executive chairman of Ondo State Rural Water and Sanitation Agency, RUWASA, that brought that project to Akeredolu. And it was because she wanted to do that for us. But it was fortuitous that somebody like me had also put some burdens with our agency. So it wasn't anything personal. But when the governor was coming to commission the project, this is something that was, reticulated industrial capacity borehole. And when it was done, instead of handing it over to people in the community, they brought partisan politics into it. They said it was a APC thing. I said, so when you do things with the money belonging to all the taxpayers in Ondo State, and you cannot make contradistinction between governance and partisan politics, you are in government. You have catered for the interest of everybody, whether PDP, APC, Labour, what have you, everybody. And now to say that you are constituting something, instead of handing that project to Alayede in council, to the Oba, as something that should be minded by the people in the community, they brought all kinds of people, even somebody like me that was locked up. You cannot believe, just because I was asking for water for the people of my community. I was locked up by the police based on a wrongful accusation from an individual who wanted to claim, the setback that you should measure before you start building. That belongs to the people and the government. That was where we started that project. But this woman, acting in active connivance with certain elements in the community. How many times do I live in Akeredolu? I will come from America, do my journalism all over Nigeria, and the government listened to us to put that water facility there, and then I got locked up for that. Nobody tells that story anymore. Nobody tells that story anymore. But I was glad to have been locked up on behalf of the people of my community. At the end of the day, we got it going. But more than that, there were other times when people acting at the behest of the ruling party invaded our community with violence because of local government elections. The fact that everybody went into hiding, including the police, but I knew I would not stand by and allow people to just overrun my community. And then I stepped out and I spoke with them, and they stopped the urge of violence that day. I got reported to the powers that be within the ruling party. Would you now count that as something positive concerning Akeredolu, that my community should be overrun with violence on election? Although the other parties involved too, they meted out certain uncivilized treatment to the chairman of APC, Honorable Emmanuel Olubi, in that town that day. Across the board, I was appalled by the level of violence that attended that kind of exercise. Elections should not be this bloody kind of thing that you play up to the level of war. Master Son said, politics is it's war without bloodshed. But in Nigeria, with APC, PDP, all of them, what do they do all the time? They want to sacrifice the people. Then look at the way education, a social I mean, something that should be given to the people with joy, education, health. I mean, they went in terms of cost to the common people, shot through the roof under the administration of Akeredolu. You cannot compare between the goodwill that was extended to the people of Ondo State by the government of Olusegun Mimiko, Labour Party. You can't compare between that kind of goodwill and what people, the reversals that have been visited on the people of Ondo State. At what cost? And we are still talking of certain money that came in. Remember when Governor Wigwe of River State made this shocking disclosure that all that he's been doing was because Buhari paid some a backlog of what's it called? Derivation, 13% derivation accruals, backlog of such to oil producing states. When that came to Ondo State, nobody knew. Nobody knew anything about it. Even look at the suffering of the people during COVID in Ondo State when palliatives were supposed to have been given out. Our people suffered a lot. Even now, under this Naira cascade, Ondo State people are still suffering. And it's a continuation of the Akeredolu legacy. And I hear that you are a better lesson. He would live long. He would live long. We do no. I mean, there is a place for longevity. We do not wish anybody's life to be cut short, whether by
his name is Aida
debilitating diseases or avoidable assassination. We don't want that for any of the leaders in Nigeria. But I hear that you should listen. If it too carries on with standards that are below that are judged to be below the, it too will be examined. It will be X-rayed politically, socially, and all that. That is what has happened to Akeredolu. Nobody is questioning the love affair between him and Betty.
I know, right? Like, why are we talking about that?
Yeah, nobody is questioning that. But Betty is now the one that wants to turn the word E and all. You know, that was most unfortunate thing to do.
I mean, for a tribute.
Yes.
Come on,
yes.
man.
Like, that is twisted. That is twisted. Turning and I mean, she will still be wife to
she was just getting ready to just down Ebenezer Obey, only away, like all type of side.
What do you
think? Side shaded.
I think Chiola, it was William Shakespeare that wrote, "Heaven knows no scorn." That can be compared with, knows no fury, and that of a woman that has been scorned. So in this case,
but who scorned her? I thought it's the opposite here. Well, that's what she's trying to profess here.
Our brain is telling her that people are just acting in all manner of ways.
This tribute is almost saying otherwise.
Yeah.
It's almost saying otherwise in terms of
look at the intro. She wants us to believe that this man, was terrifically in love with her.
Was a romantic Onyibo man. The way he did his thing.
He was.
But the actions speak louder.
Yeah, but he was even reminding him, "It's me.
It's me.
It's me." I mean, when he did depart this plane that he would have forgotten that.
She makes it very hard to,
We know the name of the game. We know the name of the game. You know, when people have complex, they will think things that were
Chief,
never.
Her husband just passed, right? And what we should be doing, ideally, is to be sympathizing with her and the family.
Yes.
But she made it so hard with that type of crazy tribute right there. But I don't know who allowed her to release that.
So
they don't have anybody screening stuff like that for a governor's wife before you put that out. Jesus Christ!
It's no longer a governor's wife. So
she's always going to be a governor's wife, isn't it?
An ex-governor's wife. All our lesson.
Hey, going on.
These people don't listen to anyone. I give you a typical example. While President Goodluck Jonathan was president, There were times I was always shocked about the kind of speeches the wife gave, with due respect. And I would call people around her. What they told me was that, oh, she'd been prepped. They prepared adequately for this, that it will be avoidable. Let her stick to the, I mean, to, what's it called, to the script. But she will never. They are so difficult to manage most times. Yes, it's good to speak from the heart, extempore, but you must be extremely disciplined and you must be
Have to be
extremely in
disciplined.
love with the people to be able to
Absolutely.
do that.
Yes,
To be able
and
to
your
do that.
words, and if you're a normal human being and you're occupying a very prestigious post, highly veneered, is that the right English? Post, you hold it to yourself to screen your words as a normal human being so that you can continue to honor
Yeah,
that position.
but this person feels everybody owes her so much, and she wants to have the
So
last.
it's so
But
entitlement.
yes, we know people like that. We know people. There are people like that. You show them all kinds of grace, all kinds of love. At the end of the day, they will cut their nose to spite the. To spite the face. So it's something that is well known. But all those things you described, that is not the Yoruba mark. That is not the
Anyway,
Yoruba.
we met.
That is not Yoruba identity. So she
Anyway,
needs to. She needs to mourn the husband properly instead of looking for
thank you,
enemies
Chief.
to
That in
blame.
fact, that's what I was gonna say. We meant to, help her give you a little small tribute, but she no help. But anyway, let's just leave. Let's leave it at that for today.
Yeah,
Do us
yeah.
a favor, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live. We'll be back in 20 seconds. All right, we're back. We're back. We're showing Donald Trump
That is really
taking over.
something. This was a little sooner than we anticipated.
Taking over.
An even bigger win than we anticipated. And
Anyway, we don't want to get flagged because of those songs. Here's a quick report. Trump thumps. Jesus, see English. Trump thumps, dominates South Carolina, thumps Haley in the shadows. Jesus Christ. They're not taking it easy on this woman at all. But I'm not sure. It's probably, I don't think there's a path to move forward for her. But let me read this short excerpt from TheGuardian.com. It says, results called for Trump almost immediately after polls closed as former South Carolina governor suffers stinging home state loss. Donald Trump defeated Nikki Haley in her home state of South Carolina, a stinging setback that narrows her vanishingly thin path to the nomination, as in Kuliwek. The Associated Press called the South Carolina primary for Trump right when polls closed at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in a clear indication of his large victory in Haley's home state. Trump locked in approximately 60% of the vote, with Haley hovering at about 40%. Kodebado. Anyway, what do you have to say about this, Chief?
Well,
60 to 40.
Yeah, it's not really bad, but what has happened there cannot shock anybody anymore because, like we have said repeatedly here, the Republican Party is just jostling for the ultimate takeover. It's been branded by it's done. This is my thought. This is my thing, and this is going to, shake up everything, rework it all over. That this is Donald Trump's party. He won't have a easy takeover. his path to victory with the primaries within the Republican Party
Right.
is almost certain uh, to, to be a easy one. But yeah, everybody should wait for the ultimate contest. This is a rematch between him. It's going to be a rematch between him and the incumbent president, Mr. Uh, Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
So yeah, no surprise at all. The only surprise that uh, I see in this is that South Carolina is supposed to be the home state for Miss Nikki Haley. She's been governor there, and she contributed to the making of so many people. A lot of them now have jumped. They have jumped boat, and they, instead of rooting for her, are working for Donald Trump. But don't forget that Mr. Donald Trump is a man with so much baggage. This is almost like what you find in Liberia at the time when people were saying it was Charles Taylor they wanted. In fact, some people compose songs and praises of biblical proportions that, oh, he killed my mother, did this to my daughter, all sorts. But I'm still going to vote for him. So Donald Trump has done so many stuff in America here. The other day in New York, you heard what the verdict was, almost describing him and his family as financial criminals. His company, had to be given an external individual compliant officer, another one appointed internally to monitor everything. His adult children.
Sorry, before you continue with that, let me read this to you. It says, this is from WashingtonPost.com. It says, clock is ticking for Trump to post bonds worth $500 million. Experts say a cash crunch in coming weeks could thrust the former president's business into greater uncertainty than it has seen in decades. This was published earlier on today on the Washington Post. Hours after a New York judge ordered Donald Trump to pay a $355 million penalty for submitting false data to financial institutions, the former president railed against the decision during a fundraiser at his Mar-a-Lago club with some of the Republican Party's wealthiest donor. Continue, sir.
That's it. So, and from what officials of the state of New York said, every day that he delays in paying the fines imposed by the New York court, this will be piling interest every single day. And it's so instructive that the Attorney General of the state said that this tells everybody that the law is a leveler for everybody in America, and that no past president or even incumbent president is allowed to behave as if they are above the law. So all these things keep dogging Donald Trump. So that is why I compared between his situation, him, Costello running in Liberia then, and people saying, oh, he killed my mother, he did this, he did that. We're still going to vote for him. Republicans will present him. In fact, they want to make it a coronation. It does not matter whether this man was indicted or was fingered and was caught live, trying to do stuff with the cookie jar in terms of the insurrection of January 6th in Washington, D.C. They will rout for him. This is the man they said they want. And this is going to define everybody that is endorsing whatever Donald Trump has been accused of, for which is facing trials everywhere. Is it about the rape case that he went down for? So And for a party that has substantial part of its people saying they are uh, evangelical, Pentecostal, Orthodox Christians, the question has to be asked. So it does not. So the creed everybody professes in terms of faith does not matter anymore. So it is now about the political issue of uh, what's it called? Uh, Anti-abortion, Supreme Court activism, and what have you that is going to be embraced in place of the rudiments of the faith that everybody professes. So this is, I mean, welcome to America. This is the new normal in America. Remember, this man said
This
years
is
back,
the new
he
normal.
could he
the new
could
normal.
stand in the middle of wherever in New York, shoot somebody or do whatever, and nothing will happen. And nothing is happening. But let us continue instead of just looking in our crystal ball and no, let us follow the developments as they unfold. I will be one of those that will be shocked if he wins. But you know what? This is a call to action for everybody.
Well, you know, we can, Chief,
about America.
you know, we can ease in your shock small by small. There's
That's
this guy on your screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
His name is the second number 2 Senate person, GOP Senator John Thune. The number 2 Republican in the Senate is endorsing former President Donald Trump as the party's nominee. His office confirmed to CNN. The backing from the South Dakota Republican, who has been critical of Trump, he was critical of Trump, is the latest indication of the former president's grip on the party. As
It's not just a grip.
Yeah.
What do you call this thing that that vice of a thing that carpenters use? So that kind of ironclad grip.
Oh yeah, like a plier, like a when you
It is
grip.
more than that. That thing, I think it's called vice. Carpenters,
Vice.
woodworkers.
Oh, okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah, they use this stuff. That is the kind of grip he has now on Republican Party. So as we make progress, it's not just the deputy senator. The deputy leader of the Republican caucus in this country that is going to give this kind of endorsement. You remember everybody that was lined up against this guy originally. Once he bullied them, including the ones he accused of running home to mama to get adequate response before doing stuff. Jeff Bush. Remember the way he whopped him into line. So many of them like that. All of them. He even told a lie against somebody that his father was involved in the assassination of JF Kennedy. He's going to try all kinds of stuff. He has told you he could grab women by whatever.
By the push.
And that nothing will happen. We can repeat some of the
Right. That's why I said push. By the push.
You know, we can repeat some of those things on air. But this is the man that majority of Republicans you will be shocked, even when I interact with the young Republicans. They say, yes, this one, they're going for him. I said, for real? Yes, they said that is the person they're going for. That they feel is better than Joe Biden. I said, good luck to you then. I'm not a politician. I cannot convince anybody against anything.
It's with their full chest now, full support. Because 4 years ago, they couldn't say that. But, 8 years ago, they couldn't. But now, with their full chest, they're saying it.
It is called a takeover right now. It's called a takeover.
Okay.
And it's over. But after this, I hope the Republican Party can still define its soul, can still call itself an American, a worthy American institution. But in this country, it is called democracy. So it's good. But the international community, and I'm sure people in the media are not comfortable with the likely turnout of things. But I don't think it's going to go far, because this would get everybody rallying for the base of the Democratic Party to stop him in his tracks.
Okay,
This
we'll
guy's got
see.
baggage. I don't know
We'll
if I
see.
can go. Yeah.
We'll see. Thank you so much for that, Chief. We'll be back. Do us a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, and follow. Turn up your notifications so you are notified whenever we go live and when we drop video. We'll be right with you in about 20 seconds.
Final results of the exercise after the collation of results from the 18 local government areas of the state. Senator Okpebholo polled 12,433 votes to defeat 11 other aspirants who contested the primary election and will now fly the flag of the party at the governorship election scheduled for September later this year.
For the All Progressive Congress party primaries for gubernatorial election in Edo State. The total number of votes, 41,784. Numbers of accredited voters, 31,863. Total votes cast, 31,863. Valid votes, again 31,863. Invalid votes, nil. Senator Monday Okpebholo, after having satisfied all the requisite requirements by the party and scoring the highest number of votes cast in this Edo State primary, gubernatorial primaries elections, he is hereby declared the winner with a total vote cast of 12,433 votes. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your cooperation.
Anyway, that's the whole Edo State thing going on. I think I'm realizing that that's just the APC primary. I'm going to read something like a short.
Even
are you up to speed? Are you up to speed?
because
Okay.
yeah,
Go
because we need to save time. Let me say that the victory of Senator Monday Okpebholo as against the man that was supposed to be the big people's candidate.
Who is that? Who's that person?
That was, you know, yeah, in the initial, the annulled, or the primary that was earlier conducted that was rejected, the one that was done last week.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is a recount.
Yeah, not just a recount. They had another exercise.
Election.
Yeah, altogether, because the other man was already thinking that it could be given this by the governor of Imo State, who was the returning officer in respect of that primary. That is Uzodimma. You know what Edo people have demonstrated again over and over is that Edo no be Lagos. Number two, now they are telling Uzodimma Edo no be Imo, and they've done it the way they like to do it. Is about you know the direct primary that was employed, the process that was that was in practice there, got everybody, every stakeholder within APC that had the time to go out there to participate. It's about the people taking their fate in their hands. It's not a matter of some super delegates.
I mean, that's
now.
what it was supposed to be, right?
No, there are three processes by Nigerian Electoral Act. It could be direct, it could be indirect, it could be by consensus. But in this case, this is direct primary. In fact, this reform that opened that threw the process open for everybody, every card-carrying member of APC to participate should be pursued further. Everybody across party line should come and participate in the primary.
Right.
You know, it's been a kind of a kind of a system in which only the privileged few could endorse whoever will become the flag bearer, the flag carrier for any political party in Nigeria.
Yeah.
That's not good enough. So kudos to APC for reinventing itself and opening up a little bit, because they still have to do.
Let's see if we can change your mind. Just literally 10 seconds ago, there's a new post here on leadership.ng. It says an aspirant of the APC, All Progressive Congress, in the just concluded primary election, Dennis Idahosa, has rejected the results declared by the party's electoral committee. Idahosa came second with 6,541 votes behind the winner, Senator Monday Okpebholo, who scored 12,433 votes. He, however, rejected the result, describing it as fictitious.
Ola, let me tell you, nothing is going to change my mind.
Okay.
Idahosa is a very romantic name amongst Benin people.
I thought I should try. You know, it's also, what is it, pastor, cousin, nephew?
Yeah, that is why it's so romantic. I don't know if it's his family or not. I don't know if they are related. I also know one good Idahosa in Kansas City here.
Okay.
Who'd been a good business person, car dealer. He assisted a lot of us in those days when we were, that's why I said the Idahosa name is romantic.
It's romantic.
Nothing personal against them, but when the majority of the people have said this is what they want, they have to be shown that respect, that this is what the people want. This is what 100%. This is about. And you trust the average Nigerian politician, they will protest anything. The only thing they hardly do is to carry placards against themselves.
I know, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you can be sure a Nigerian politician one day could wake up and decide to carry a placard until he remembers that, he's carrying it against him.
Like, no, this is working against me.
Yeah, and so part of what has demonstrated that Edo no be Lagos is what has also happened with the Labour Party. Look at Mr. Olumide Akpata, somebody who is a rookie. He is not strange to politics when you are talking of the kind of politics that you find within the pressure group.
This is this goatee person on the screen. Is that what you're talking about?
There?
This is the I'm not sure you can see, but this is the person with a goatee on the screen, right? The Olumide Akpata. He has glasses.
Yeah, the immediate past president of the Nigerian Bar Association.
Okay,
that kind of
because he's claiming that his letter to the INEC is what helped.
It could be because he was almost going to be manipulated out of reckoning. Lies were even told against him by some renegade groups within Labour Party who wanted him out of the way at all costs, so that what they wanted to achieve. They know that Olumide Akpata clinching the party, clinching the what's it called, the gubernatorial ticket for Labour Party.
For Labour Party,
will be a game changer in Edo State. Because of his background as former NBA person, a legal luminary. They know it's not going to be an easy thing for anybody to push him aside or to manipulate the process against him. So all this Lamidi Arabambi, Lamidi Apampa, Arabambi and co, they ganged up and they were going to discredit the process, the entire thing. And look at the way the chairman of Labour Party was malhandled by the police
Last
the
week.
other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, all those. What was that for? Just to show that some people are in power, they are in charge. Having sponsored people to polarize the party, and they haven't failed in that attempt. The next thing is to parade him for a so-called what's it called? Suspected, attempted murder, and all kinds of allegations bordering on
Yeah.
financial impropriety. As is often
Olumide
the case.
Apata.
So Olumide Akpata was the person they were trying to get at. Now they are showing that yes, and they had even almost succeeded at pushing him out of the race. Now he's back. That is also a game changer. So what I'm then even look at the contest within People's Democratic Party. Comrade
Yes.
Tribal, the deputy governor, who all along had fallen out of favor with with his principal, the governor of the state, Mr. Obaseki, eventually lost in the race and went into his bedroom or his own, his residence, conducted some process and then declared. His supporters said, "Oh, he has won." Is that the way to run primaries? But beyond that, the businessman, the business icon lawyer, Igodalo, who has now clicked that ticket, is telling me all these three leading aspirants and the others that are on other political parties' tickets. This is telling me that this gubernatorial election in Edo State is not going to be like any other one that we have witnessed in recent times. New kids are on the block.
So it's going to shake things up, huh?
Yes, it's going to change the dynamics. There will be paradigm shift. There will be new values. There will be new vibe added to the entire contest in Edo State. So everybody should brace up. What we have seen so far is that Nigerians, the common folks, are not dying for the interests of the rich people, the deep-pocketed, the deep-pocketed politicians. I hope this can run its full course as something that will be free and fair. But for once, Hope Uzodinma was told, I don't know the Imo and I don't know the Lagos.
Okay, we shall see. We shall see. Now I'm starting to watch because I don't know too much about it, but I'm going to start paying attention now. But do us a favor, if you know more about this, you're on ground, you can see some things happening, leave it in the comment box below. We would like to hear from you. Hit that like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you are notified whenever we go live. We'll be back in 20 seconds. Welcome back. ECOWAS explains sanction lift. Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso. I have a report here on Punch. Nigeria that was published on the 25th of February. I guess that's today or yesterday. The Economic Community of West African States says the decision to lift sanctions on Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso was based on the need to maintain regional unity and security. President of the ECOWAS Commission, Dr. Omar Touré, said this at the end of the extraordinary session of the heads of state and government of ECOWAS on Saturday in Abuja. He said that the authority took note of the period of Lent and the approaching month of Ramadan and the impact on citizens, adding that plea were also received from prominent leaders, including the retired General Yakubu Gowon. The authority takes note that the withdrawal will have political, socio-economic, financial, and institutional implications for the three countries as well as for ECOWAS as a region. The authority recalls that within the framework of regional cooperation against terrorism, violent extremism, and organized crime, the three countries benefited from about $100 million mobilized by UMR within the context of the ECOWAS plan of action against terrorism. Moreover, some funds allocation, about 7.5 million US dollars, is being made towards supporting the three countries in acquiring the equipment to help their fight against terrorism. The withdrawal will affect security cooperation in terms of sharing intelligence and participation in regional counterterrorism initiatives. So my question about this, when I see ECOWAS, when I see sanctions, what I hear is money, 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 and how
Money
we can,
on my mind.
right, and how we can, I don't know what kind of policies can help these nations, because there are literally hundreds of millions of people dispersed all over this place, and their lives are being affected by all these decisions. What are your thoughts about this sanction lift? Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? What is it that we
Well,
can see?
too bad that, like in so many things, the leadership of ECOWAS, particularly the chairman of that sub-regional economic bloc. I mean, in case our people need to know, ECOWAS means Economic Community of West African States.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is a loose economic cooperation between almost 16 countries in West Africa. Some French-speaking, or most of them French-speaking, some English-speaking. So you're talking of Francophone, that is French-speaking, and Anglophone, English-speaking countries within the West African sub-region.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, things were not given proper thought before pronouncements were made in respect of sanctions against the coupists in the military coupists in Niger Republic. And before that, there had been hot-headed military adventurers in Burkina Faso, and I think the third one should be Mali, right? These are
Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
These are places that are replete with all kinds of weapons,
Mm-hmm.
illicit weapons. These are places that give impetus to certain misguided elements to take to terrorism and all forms of violent crimes. So, little wonder that extensive consultations should have been carried out by President Bola Tinubu, who chairmans the regional bloc presently. Before,
Presently. Mm-hmm.
yeah, before sanctions were announced in a hurry. And I think what would be the concern for somebody like a retired General Yakubu Gowon, who, with other people, worked assiduously for the establishment of the ECOWAS in 1975, would be that the kind of cooperation, the kind of I can't really see unity amongst these nations and their leaders. I mean, that kind of background to whatever has played out lately must have informed that kind of high-level intervention from General Yakubu Gowon. But that said and done, you will remember we said Bola Tinubu did not think it through before putting his hand on the equivalent of nuclear button. That is the economic policy,
right,
known as subsidy is gone. The day subsidy was gone, Nigeria's economy totaled. It tanked. Now, concerning the situation in Niger Republic, as it also affected a place like Mali, a place like Burkina Faso, and lately, remember, in Guinea, right, and elsewhere, you see the way that people are now beginning to find military coup attractive again in Africa. But instead of thinking things through, instead of first making underground diplomatic consultations and contact with the coup leaders and using what Obasanjo would call carrot and stick approach, it just went full blast. And those people push it back on his face. That come, we are not your Nigerian schoolboys. And this is what they want. And when they started exposing the hypocrisy of the French government, especially in French-speaking African countries, everybody was taken aback that these people were only given paper and talk independence. In truth, they are still subjugated. How do you, begin to handle a situation in which these people produce all the uranium? They make all so much money, but it is always tied to one thing or the other in France, and such money cannot even be used to benefit the different countries that own these resources. Look at the number of universities that ought to be everywhere. Until you go to places like Togo, you go to places like the Republic of Benin, relatively has done well. But honestly, these are places, you are saying Nigeria is struggling with its economy and its politics. You need to go to those places before you know what is called a grinding poverty. Yes, go to Burkina Faso, go to everywhere. So these are the things that these people were questioning, they were pushing against. And people like Thomas Sankara had tried in the past to uplift the fortune of their people. But what did international conspiracy do? Frustrated and got them assassinated. The same thing with Patrice Lumumba in the Congo. And the situation in the Congo is still intractable to today. So that was what the situation, a worst case scenario that Niger would have precipitated. So I do not know what is contained in this speech, which is showing that we have now made a 360 degrees turn, or turn.
I mean, what we know.
It's good for people to bite the humble pie sometimes. It is good. I hope the kind of unity that used to exist between the West African countries can still be worked out, can still be restored. But I don't think we will ever get there anymore. We will always suspect each other now. But it's so unfortunate. They said Tinubu had done wonders in Lagos, but on national stage, international stage, is it's a totally different ball game.
At this point in time,
yes.
Wait, I'm looking at this report, right? Let me say this to you.
Wait. At a colloquium in Nigeria at the time, I think it was that for Professor Wole Soyinka. I saw Mr. Bola Tinubu there then as the ex-governor of Lagos State. If Professor Dare Olatunji, the accomplished journalist and journalism teacher, is watching us, he can testify to this. I nearly asked Mr. Bola Tinubu, you have been fingered in installing democratic governance all over, in some West African countries, particularly Ghana, in case of Arthur John Mills. What is the need for you, sir? He answered me and he will spread democracy. And if I accuse him of bankrolling all these things, and that he does not mind rolling out the money from the banks until everybody has democracy. When he finished answering me, he punched my chest. This is what Bola Tinubu did to me that day in Lagos at Amazon Center. Why I'm saying this is that beyond sponsoring and installing democratic government, you see, why I mentioned Dr. Olatunji Dare or Professor Olatunji Dare, as the case may be.
Yeah, let's round this one up. Okay?
Even as I felt that I felt violated by Mr. Bola Tinubu. Dr. Olatunji Dare was the person who held my hand and reassured me that he did not mean to be violent and that I should just let it go. Yes, that happened in Lagos during one of my visits to Nigeria. So, this was more than 10 years ago, by the way. So, to save time, Bola Tinubu is learning on the job, and there are so many things for him to learn that it is not just enough for you to be able to bankroll the coming into office of anybody.
That's not sustainable. Let me read this to you, and then we can round out this session, right? He said, this report about this lifting sanction he said, not lifting the sanction would result in the halt or the suspension of all ECOWAS projects and programs worth more than $500 million US. Toure said that the projects collectively valued at approximately $321.6 million US. The bottom line is there's a lot. I mean, like you were saying, just coming into office and just putting, I feel like that's
not thinking things through.
Yeah, not thinking things through.
Yeah, taking action. There is something to that, And the volume of trade going on between all these 16 ECOWAS countries is appallingly small. Between Nigeria and Niger Republic, I don't think the volume of trade in spite of being neighbors and having commonality of what's it called, certain cultural heritage and what have you, is even I doubt if it's up to $6 million a month. So
yeah.
See, right. we will revisit this. We will revisit this issue of ECOWAS. Because
but today we'll talk about money more.
Them extensively in the past, and I found out that it's more of a hoax and fiasco rather than satisfying the yearnings and the aspirations of all of us as West African citizens.
Absolutely, yeah. Anyway, do us a favor, hit that like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you are notified whenever we go live. We'll be back in 20 seconds. Welcome back. Steady growth, Nigeria's economy, and rising oil output. All right, she won't wine. I did whining us. What is this one about? But let me just read the report. This is actually on Reuters.com. Abuja, February 22. Nigeria's economy grew 3.46% in the fourth quarter, a similar pace as it did a year earlier. Data showed on Thursday as oil output picked up and government reforms to boost growth began to take effect. Gross domestic product grew quicker than in the two previous quarters of 2023. GDP grew 2.54% in the third quarter and 2.51% in the second. Growth in the final quarter of 2022 was 3.52% in annual terms. The pickup in growth came as reforms instituted by President Bola Tinubu, right? Let's show his face while we're talking. There you go. Who pledged during his inauguration in May to expand the economy by at least 6% annually, began to take effect. Tinubu made bold changes, including ending a costly fuel subsidy, and devaluing the country's naira currency twice in less than a year to try to lift sluggish growth. But these reforms have stoked price pressures, sending inflation to almost 30% in January, is the highest in nearly 3 decades. President Tinubu said during a November budget speech that the economy was expected to grow by at least 3.76% in 2024. The National Bureau of Statistics said full-year growth for 2023 stood at 2.74%. The performance of the GDP in the fourth quarter of 2023 was driven mainly by the services sector, which recorded a growth of 3.98% and contributed 56.55% to the aggregate GDP, the Statistics Office said. Growth in the agriculture and industrial sectors, which create jobs, improved marginally during the period compared with a year ago, the data states. Almost there. Average daily oil output rose to 1.55 million barrels per day, up from 1.34 million a year ago. Nigeria relies on oil production for about 2/3 of government earnings and 90% of its foreign exchange income. The real growth of the oil sector was 12.11% year-on-year in Q4 2023, indicating an increase of 25.5 percentage point relative to the rate recorded in the corresponding quarter of 2022 at minus 13.38%, said the Statistics Office. So my question for you, Chief, you got 10 minutes to answer this big old question. Does this sound like good news to you? Abi, we should just relax and see where this is taking us.
In terms of oil production output, being able to meet our OPEC quota, which expectedly should be about 2 million barrels per day. Now they say we are doing 1.55 million barrels per day. Yes, it will on the surface look like good news. So the deficit of 450,000, where does that go? Or maybe 500,000. It's not as if oil is not coming out. The loophole that should be blocked is still there. The leakage is still there. The country is hemorrhaging to the what's it called? The grid and brigandage of some of its citizens and active international collaborators. That has to be blocked right away. And can we really rely on all these figures in the face of all that Nigerians are witnessing currently in terms of the purchasing power, the ability, and this money that they're talking of may be concentrated in the hands of very few. Hunger is something that has overtaken everybody in Nigeria today, and the naira is no longer reliable as holding any value. It doesn't store any value for anybody. So these are the issues. So, and can we really say that statistics coming from Nigeria? Statistics coming from Nigerian that bureau, that agency is really reliable. Look at the funny thing they did in terms of unemployment ratio in Nigeria the other day. They said if somebody send a child, go and buy me a bowl of fried beans, akara, and the boy is able to save something up, that is employment for the boy. Isn't that funny?
Really?
So,
wow.
That is the way they rebase the economy, and then instead of reporting unemployment level
as against world standard.
Yes, they said unemployment rate in Nigeria at that point was like maybe between 2 point something to 3 point something %, and everybody started laughing. Now that they're full now, so all these things are there. So if what Reuters is reporting is really true. We do not cast aspersion on anybody. It's not about Reuters.com now. It's about the source or the
Right.
sources. How reliable are these figures? I'm not going to belabor. I don't want to exhaust the 10 minutes you gave me. The truth of the matter is that Nigerians are
You're
expected
good,
to
though.
join.
You're good, though.
Yeah, Nigerians are expected to join the mainstream labor. Trade union organization, Nigerian Labour Congress, on Tuesday to go demanding reforms and making sure that hunger does not kill everybody, and address the minimum wage and negotiations that should be followed through with the government. They want the government to look into that. So if these statistics, this figure, the figures that have been reeled out, if they are really true, are they people friendly? Is it reflecting on the quality of life in Nigeria? Is it what the citizens can take to bank and say, oh,
Right.
we have a country that is working for us now? Certainly not. So
not now, at least.
we continue to work, and to monitor, to see that things turn better for this country that ought to be the pride for every black person on the face of the earth.
Yeah. I believe that there's a guy on TikTok, Najashima Dun, I think that's his name. Najashima Dun. And the natural knee-jerk reaction to most people is like, Luriro. But then you think about that, but we should pray for our nation, though.
See, there is nothing wrong with being optimistic. The only thing is that people should be cautious, because you want to go there thinking that that things are going to turn around for the better in Nigeria. Things will be sweet. All right, if you don't find anything that meets that expectation, then you would have worked yourself up for nothing. So,
what is the overall expectation of the average person with regards to a Tinubu administration?
Well, what everybody
honestly.
You asking me what people expect?
Overall temperature around
getting a firm grip of the economy, arresting the runaway inflation, and if needs be, domicile the country's what do you call it, foreign reserve, whatever we have in terms of within the country, instead of just banking it with all kinds of institutions everywhere other than the country, and then lowering interest rates, give access to everybody, and access to everybody in terms of loans, startups. Do not make the process to be too cumbersome. I remember when we wanted to start Ruben and Associates, the parent company of SharpEdge News company, SharpEdgeNewsTV.com in the US. It only took me $10 to enter into the US. I don't want to promote any bank, but that was the start. $10, securing a business name through a bank, getting my tax identification number, and then we went into business. So later, when something came to me from my late father's estate, say like $4,000, I was able to use that. To inject that into what I was doing. So people should make the process less cumbersome. You want to register businesses in Nigeria, and they're asking you for a whole head.
In this digital age, things should be moving a lot more smoother than.
Yes, do you know the ridiculous things they even do in Nigeria when you want to register your business? For example, when I wanted to register Ruben,
like I said,
in Nigeria, when I wanted to register Ruben, can I continue?
Yeah, I'm listening. Yes.
When I wanted to register Ruben and Associates in Nigeria, They checked in their system. Another person was answering Rabboni and associates. So, in which way is Rabboni, which translated would mean Rabboni would mean rabbi or teacher? In which way does it mean something with Reuben? CSC will not register Reuben and associates because of Rabboni. But in America, does it matter if there's a Reuben and associates in New Jersey? So long it's not in Kansas City,
Right.
you can register it anywhere. If it's not in my county in Kansas City, it doesn't affect anything. So all these things that computers should harmonize for them, they make it so difficult for everyone in Nigeria. Yeah? Name reconciliation is too difficult for them to handle, and they waste too many, man hour chasing after nothing instead of what is productive and that can concretely impact human life.
Right. Okay. All right. We'll be back in to finish up the show in about 20 seconds. Do us a favor. Hit the like button, share, subscribe, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live or we drop videos. All right. We'll be back in 20 seconds. All right, welcome back, welcome back. First of all, I do have President Bola Tinubu on the screen again. Apparently, I just saw this literally like 2 minutes ago. I thought we should cover it before we leave. It says, cost of living crisis, Tinubu meets with Dangote, Rabiu. Hold on 1 second, let me turn that off. All right, there you go. Rabiu, Elumelu, others, right? So I'm going to play this short video, and then also I'm going to read one of the comments we got today. Shout out to that person that left us a comment. And then also shout out to my Uncle Festus Fabilola, who reached out to me on Facebook. He's watching the shows. So shout out to Uncle Festus Fabilola. But yeah, let me play this video.
To him.
Yes.
My regards to Bride of Festus Fabilola.
Yes.
Let him know I said so.
Yes, absolutely. All right, he actually asked about you, but let me play this video, and then we'll continue to.
Yeah. Before you continue, it's so instructive. The case of my situation and that of Bride Fabilola is so instructive. That is somebody that is that has challenges when it comes to hearing, and America has not allowed him to waste. He's eminently educated and he functions very well.
That's part of what we're talking about,
he's done very well. Attended some of the best American universities, and he's now well over 70. Yeah. I'm visually impaired, I'm doing this, but I always throw this challenge. People do not have to waste away.
To encourage others, to encourage others.
You know the tragedy behind this. In Nigeria, people just see me because the two eyes are open. They think, you can drive, you can do it. I'm like, you don't even know what you're trying with.
You have no idea.
If I drive, it's either I get killed or I kill somebody. And I have this restriction that says I'm legally blind. What don't you get? You think every eyes that are open like that really see? So you can always contribute to what we do. Join in this effort to make sure that that person around you don't need to be mocked or rejected or be distanced. No, they too can be useful. They can impact the society, and this is what we are doing here.
Absolutely.
So, like us,
share, subscribe,
follow us, subscribe,
support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all. So in this section, we're talking about Bode George and Wigwe, the banking and forex corruption debate. Guess who is mad? That's the title we're giving this segment. So I'm going to play that video, and then we'll come back and talk more about that person's comment. We appreciate the comment. We're going to address it. Let's keep going.
Many times, the people of this country only the people we have to please. And we are very much concerned, from the students to mothers, fathers, the farmers, the traders, and realizing that every one of us, we have to fetch water from the same well. We are looking for additional efforts that might help the downtrodden Nigerians, and we will provide that hope and the assurance that the economic recovery is on its way. We are not saying that we have all the answers, but we will not be blamed for not to try. We assure Nigerians that we will do our best to get our Marshall Plan in place and fashion out the best economic future for this country. I thank the organized private sector, my friend and brother Aliko, Samad Boa, Tony Lumelu, Koladishina, and many of you. I really sincerely thank you, Bismarck, Rewani, and Our Lady. I mean, good job. Provocative and thought-provoking challenges.
So, let me read these comments to you, and then we're gonna put a comment together from you, Chief, to round off today's or this week's episode of Sharp Edge News TV. This person left a comment. I'm trying to see. Well, shout out to you. You know yourself if you saw this comment later on. He says, "I'm wondering why you guys are making a big deal out of what Bode George said about Wigwe, the late Wigwe, and Elumelu and Emefiele and a few others, all the banking thieves apparently. I'm wondering why you guys are making a big deal out of what Bode George said about them. Is it like you guys never knew that this is what these banks have been doing? Banks have been doing round tripping with FOREX for as long as I can remember. Even this FOREX round tripping is child's play compared to the corruption in banks. But you wait for someone to say something and then you use it as a topic of discussion instead of investigating and getting fresh news." So, as the editor-in-chief and the publisher of SharpEdgeNews.com, I'm going to pass that along to you, and then, give us your take on everything.
Well, we have to thank this individual for the feedback. I mean, you can talk of the millions, if not thousands of news organizations out there who publish, and then nobody even really cares because they impact nobody and they have nothing to serve. Well, we cannot be faulted for deciding to, because we cannot manufacture things or stories, or, I mean, in journalism, opinions are said to be free. Facts are sacred. And the fact that we worked on happens to be that of Baba Bode George. Is it that we have not been seeing all these things? Of course, we've been seeing stuff with the banks. And we have reported so many of these happenings in the past. But in this case, you won't know that we even went beyond the issue of Baba Bode George to, I mean, things that the events in Nigeria, the way they affected even members of our own immediate family, our extended family. We brought that out, that at some point in Nigeria, certain people were actually imprisoned for dealing in foreign exchange, in a foreign currency in the 70s and 80s. And I said, if anybody is confused about the truth of what I said there, Akifashi and his friend Harold going to prison long before, years before the Babangida administration decided to devalue Naira in those days. It was almost unthinkable for any Nigerian. Those were times when people were dealing in import license, dealing in all kinds of stuff tied to foreign exchange. And people were known to have faced prosecution. Those were, you doubt what we are saying, go to Alagmo. They can open files in respect of those past development. So right now, talking about Wigwe, we just decided to focus on the tragedy that has befallen that family for the moment, not losing sight of the comments of Baba Bode George. We said this man should be mourned, celebrated for his positive impact. Yes, every life has pros and cons. So in the case of Wigwe, was he involved in this so-called bank round tripping
mob
on
activity behind the
on
scenes?
dollars and Naira? Of course, he and other billionaire bankers in Nigeria. Forget it, and when we even clap for them, we celebrate. It's not their money. It's not their money. It's money belonging to you and I that we bank with them. That is what they turn around, do whatever with, and then we celebrate them as oh, these are some newly found rich people. We are not excusing whatever they have done to batter Nigeria's economy. We are not excusing that. But for the moment, Wigwe, his wife and child, and another friend, associate, died in a tragic circumstance. Let us give them their minute of silence. Beyond that, what Baba Bode George said, we went beyond that to say, this is Baba Bode George himself, who was, like he later said, that they apologized to him, who was sent to prison. I remember that he was in Kirikiri there at about the same time when Hamza al-Mustafa was also at that Kirikiri facility. So, for him to have been sent to prison for contract splitting, as as the chief executive of a federal government parastatal, maybe his approval limit should be around 2.5 million. So instead of doing it that 2. So I don't know what the arrangement is to go to 50 million, 250 million, and all that. They have a way of arranging all these things. But he said he did not do it, and he has spoken about his impact at Nigerian Ports Authority. So if we have not been investigating, we will not know that. But we also raised issues as to where this man was coming from. When he went through on those days, on top of duty, military posting as a military governor of the state, what he said, and we touched on so many issues concerning this. And we said Bode George to be remembered for what he said he should be remembered for, that Lagos boy once passed through on those states. And I raised that question, was it in terms of the beautification projects in the state, or the millions of the state money that was said to have been to have followed him as he exited as the governor, the wife's conduct too. So we talked on all these things. But let us focus now on the meeting of Bola Tinubu with Nigeria's Billionaires Club. Would you, as a Nigerian, be proud of some of the people there? Maybe I can exempt Elumelu at times because I see the support he gives to startups. I see the way he encourages businesses owned by disabled people. You can't say the same thing of Aliko Dangote. They said, I always laugh when I see the kind of mendacity and deception that is involved in some of the deals these people are in and they strike. Nigerians were minding their business, were doing fine on their own until Rabiu came on the scene and said he wanted to crash the price of cement and they picked a trade war with Dangote. He said he was going to sell his cement for 2,500 or thereabout. So, how come this man reneged? But beyond that, they said they have negotiated. So instead of going to 15,000 naira per bag of cement, now it has to be 8,000, 7,000. Who are they consulting with concerning this? They moved this thing within 2 months. Period of 2 months from 4,200 naira to 5,000. Then at another point, within 24 hours, you will see cement jumping from 5,000, 5,001, 5,002, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. So they now want to pretend like they are doing us favor, particularly Aliko Dangote. This guy's business tactics is the cutthroat type. Honestly, if he operates a financial model of Mebutu, slash their throat like Boko Haram does. This is the economic equivalent. And because they have this monopoly that is unreigned, that is uncontrolled, they take things for 15,000. So who are they deceiving? If they really want to crash it and Tinubu wants everybody to know that he's working for the poor, who told him to stop at 7,000 base? 8,000 naira base. They should go back to that, to the point we were at ab initio. They should be talking now of between 3,500, 4,000 naira. They are making life so unbearable for everybody. So, in the value chain of whatever goes into the production of cement, manufacturing of cement, limestone, and the other stuff, they don't even import anything. They do not import anything. Kaolin, everything that is clay, whatever goes into manufacturing of cement, everything is sourced within Nigeria. No cross-border activity. So, whether it's Dangote, Boy, what do you call the other one? Lafat or whatever.
Okay, the other guy.
Yeah, the three big cement manufacturing people.
Yeah.
It was not like this in the days of Portland. It was not like this with Benue Cement, the cement factory in Calago, but they swallowed up everything. Acquisitions, and the acquisition now is turning to what's it called? The pill of death for everybody.
Let's round it up.
Yes. So the meeting with the Billionaire Club,
right,
until it translates to
real life.
Yes, for the common people in Nigeria.
Nigerian people can cash out on it. Until then,
yes, they're just trying to fool themselves, and they think they are fooling the people.
Ouch.
No, this is not about
I'm just kidding.
No, it's not about that. It's just about what next do they have in their bag of tricks.
Give us the plan. Give us the plan. Yeah, I got you. Now, back to the person who left a comment. You were very, very, very nice. I will be nice too. That person did not answer my question I asked to. I said, Baba is asking, where are the factories? The bank? I said, where is Baba's factory?
Thank you.
That's what I
Thank
said, though. And the
Yes.
person went on to tell us if they are wondering if you make a big deal out of a story, this is a journalistic platform. Like you said, the facts we're dealing with is the words of Baba.
We can decide to make a big story, a big issue out of it, no matter how.
Even me, I'm still nice. So
Yes.
all I asked you is a simple question, and then you went on to give me a shout out to you for the thesis of a question. I don't know if it's a question, but thank you. I appreciate it. But I beg,
Thank you.
answer my question, brother or auntie or whoever left that comment. Answer my question. Do you know if Baba has factories where people are getting jobs, or where at least people can donate money so that they can get some interest rate? Even if we know the inflation rate will kill the interest rate later on, we know. You see all this crime that you want to spell out for us, which is what Baba did, right? You want to spell out you did exactly what I accused Baba of doing. Baba is good at telling us what the problem is. What are the solutions, right?
Simple.
And if you have one, please continue to tell us. But please understand that, yes, we do make a big deal out of small deals here. And thank you for coming to be educated, entertained, and enlightened by it. I appreciate you. And please continue to share the platform with everybody. But this has been awesome. Another good one, another one in the bag.
Yeah, such a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And thanks to our audience for choosing to stay with us.
Please hit the like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you're notified whenever we go live or drop videos. We're going somewhere. We had a viral moment in the last 48 hours. We're not stopping. We told you we're not going to stop. So thank you for all the viewers. If you're brand new here, hit the subscribe and help us share so that you can continue to say thank you for your help. I appreciate you all. We'll see you on the next episode. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.